Joining us now is Mary Mitchell, editorial board member and columnist for the Chicago Sun-Times. Ms. Mitchell, thank you so much for coming back on the show tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
Even former Governor Blagojevich seems to have expected the conviction in the Senate today, but was the unanimous vote a surprise?
No, not at all. Not at all. One reason is because you got to look at this like, think about it in terms of a gang of thugs standing on a corner. All right, as long as nobody's bringing heat, the thugs are doing fine. But as soon as one of the thuggettes starts bringing heat, that thug has to go. And that's basically what happened in Springfield. I'm not saying that all Illinois politicians are corrupt, but pay to play is an old game. And former Governor rod+blagojevich knew that people in that body that was sitting in judgment of him has played that game. So they had to get rid of him because he was an embarrassment, because he was bringing heat and attention and negative attention to the state of Illinois.
Are you saying that state senators had to vote unanimously to get rid of him in order to make it seem like he was the only one who ever engaged in pay-to-play, in order to divert attention from their own selves?
I'm not saying they had to vote unanimously. What I'm saying, they did vote unanimously because they were disgusted and fed up. And there was no way to justify keeping them in given what they knew about pay to play. Also, they're worried now about what's on those tapes. We heard 4 tapes. We don't know what's on those tapes. They don't know what's on those tapes. So they wanted to make sure that they've cast a vote to get rid of the problem. And the problem in their eyes is the former governor.
We saw from Governor Blagojevich's public defense that he was a great name dropper, saying that he was going to call Rahm Emanuel, he was going to call Ted Kennedy, he was going to call John McCain, he was going to call Kathleen Sebelius. In a sense, trying to bring all of these people into his orbit, presumably as some sort of political insulation. In Illinois, as the as the criminal trial looms here, are there people who are expecting, worrying that they are going to surface in that trial, that they might be dragged down with him?
Well, I'm pretty sure there are people worried about that, and I'm not going to say any of those people are the people that the former governor named today in his impassioned speech on the floor. But there are people, there have to be people who made deals because pay to play is so common, and I'm not justifying that. It's just common. Everybody knows that in Illinois, if you want to get something done, you better put some money in somebody's campaign. And if you don't do that, things aren't just going to move. Illinois works on campaign dollars. So I think there are a lot of people sitting around right now who are afraid. And now here's another thing. I just don't see how some people are going to sleep tonight, because what they did, not all of them, but what some of those people who voted they did was act like hypocrites, act like they didn't know that this kind of behavior was going on, and that is so wrong, but they've engaged in that same kind of behavior.
President Obama released a statement today that said, "Today ends a painful episode for Illinois. For months, the state had been crippled by a crisis of leadership. Now that cloud has lifted." Has the cloud lifted, or does there need to be some big ethics initiative now to really clean up after this?
Well, it needs to. You need to get a cap on campaign donations. We have seen one governor go to jail for the same kind of stuff. Now a governor has been kicked out of office. We've seen dozens of aldermen go to prison because of this kind of fraud and corruption. So I don't think a cloud has been lifted. People have just been able to hold it off for a little while.
One of those clouds just started raining, maybe. Mary Mitchell, editorial board member and columnist for the Chicago Sun-Times. A real pleasure to have you back on the show. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.